Hey everybody, welcome to Badge Banter, where we feature awesome stories from some of our favorite channel partners about the importance of the ID badge as the foundation of an organization's overall security. So I'm Lindsay Martinez, and today I'm really excited to introduce you to our special guest, Charlia Pence from Diamond Business Services. Welcome, Charlia. Thank you so much for being here.
Hey, Lindsay, thank you so much for asking. We're excited.
Well, I have known Charlia for 14 years, really, as long as I've been in the industry. And she introduced me to the wonderful world of Amarillo, Texas, where they have drive-throughs for literally everything. If you didn't know that, it's amazing. But for those of you that aren't familiar with Charlia's business, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about Diamond Business Services?
Absolutely. And FYI, we can offer drive-through photo ID badging if there is a need to do so.
Drive-through everything.
We're home-based in Amarillo, Texas. We try to serve a large majority of the state of Texas. And we've been in business 42 years and started with all the predecessor solutions prior to badging, from black and white cards with lamination pictures on the back of them to what we do now with photo ID and cloud-based badging and mobile ID. But, you know, the big thing is physical ID and putting that in front of people and utilizing that for other services throughout their facility. We've been doing it for a long time, and we love being a Badge Pass partner, and we're just excited to keep going and moving forward with the product.
Well, awesome. Well, I appreciate that. And we love having you as a partner. So as you guys know, this series is really all about the importance of the physical ID and the impact it makes on an organization's security. And so, Charlia, I'm really excited for you to share your story today about your customer and the impact their IDs had on their facility.
Absolutely. We are in oil and gas country, and a lot of our refineries are huge. I mean, the big names, the Conoco, the Valeros, the Phillips, different places like that. And these are entities that have pretty deep technology resources that they could move to some, mobile ID or some different type of visual ID. But they really feel that the physical ID is important because they want to have something that is non-tamper proof, that is visual from a distance, and that is durable. These guys are out in the element, and it's got to stand up to grease and grime and hot temperatures and cold temperatures, the whole 9 yards. So we've been fortunate to badge this facility for 15 plus years with Badge Pass, thank you. And they have what is called a turnaround. They will shut the plant down for a week or so, and they will bring in about 4,000 volunteers to go in and clean the facility, clean the components, recalibrate, do safety checks, just a real in-depth flood of folks that come in. These are not permanent employees of that facility. So they're people that come in, that done some background checks on them, but they're not known to the security group there on site. So what they wanted was something that really stood out, that could be made quickly, because we've got 4,000 people, we've got a badge, and had sort of a hidden security feature that the recipients wouldn't know was there, but that could be quickly checked and validated as they came through every day. Because they've had some issues with counterfeiting in the past, and they just want to alleviate that from the get-go. So they wanted something very loud and very different from their corporate badge. So we came up with an ID that, I don't know if you can see or not, but it's got a lot of color and a background image and kind of fine line and some little micro print on it. And that stood out because it's ugly but functional and
vibrant.
Exactly kind of what they wanted. Yeah. But the big thing is we had the ability to incorporate a fluorescent panel ribbon as they printed these cards. What that means is I can have kind of a cryptic image on my card that is not viewable to the human eye, but is viewable with a black light. So when these guys would go through, they'd screen the card and that big image would pop up. And it was very quick to notice that these were indeed valid IDs. So it met their need. We were able to produce them quickly with the Badge Pass printer, and they had a whole separate looking credential from what their standard corporate credentials are, and that met all their needs. So luckily we've been able to do that every year, and I think we're on about our 8th year, and keep coming up with really vibrant ID looks, and we've been blessed to have them as a fantastic customer.
That's such a cool story. I think When I think about like the security industry as a whole and access control in particular, the ID often just gets kind of like pushed into it as part of the equation, almost like an afterthought. And I think that one of the things we neglect is like there's so many cool things that you can add to an ID from a design and security standpoint to help really make that badge not just stand out, be different, but I mean, security elements like you were talking about with UV, or we see companies that are using things like microtext and holographic lamination for durability purposes too. I mean, so many cool things, and it's unfortunate because there's so many customers that don't have interactions with organizations like yours where they even know that those are possibilities for them or things that they could do, or even in an affordable way. So I think that's an awesome story, and I appreciate you sharing it.
We always tell people, if you also have to take into account that that's your little mini billboard. So what do you want to advertise? What do you want to promote? If it is that I've got guys that are qualified in certain abilities or certain first aid standardization or whatever I need, then let's advertise that. Let's put it on their card. If I want my logo, if I don't want my logo, we don't want to just sell a box and put it out there and say, you guys create whatever you think. We want to kind of consult with them. And it's an investment, and they need to get the biggest return on their investment. And we kind of know some tricks and trade secrets that they don't. So if we can share that and make that badge even more valuable than what it is with just a photo on it, then we want to do that, because these guys aren't going away and they need to last and serve the purposes today and in the future.
Totally agree. Well, your customers are lucky to have you. So you're an awesome resource. And thank you for sharing your story and for being with us today. I really appreciate it, Charla.
Absolutely. Y'all have a good one. Take care.
All right. Join us next time as we take you beyond the badge.